What's going on, y'all? Johnny Wheeler Reacts. I'm Johnny Wheeler, and today I have yet again part 3 of the What's the Dumbest Thing an American Has Ever Said to You. I have been getting overwhelmingly positive, responses about this playlist, and I'll just keep doing them as long as if y'all enjoy them that much, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that we're having a good time. Y'all have sent me stories that they're absolutely hilarious about things that have been said to you. Something that I was going to mention at the end of part 2 that I the other day that I forgot to was that there are people in this country I know for a fact that they're not. I don't want to say that they're dumb, but they're just not cultured. They assume a lot of the stereotypes uh like a couple that I used to know around in my area used to think that they all talked with Cockney accents, and they were all, Dick Van Dyke, the chimney sweeper, if you will, from, Mary Poppins. And that's not the thing. And at the same time, on the other side of the coin, now I have friends of mine in the UK that have confirmed this. There are some there in y'all's countries that assume that some of us that America only consists of like New York and California, and that we're just not all of you, but some of you. Same with us. It's like we're just loud, obnoxious, rude, and all these other things. And like with us American Southerners, it's like you know, uh, we're perceived as inbred, backward, uneducated, and all those things. And but just like with some Americans, with y'all, some of y'all just love our accents for we're just this is just how we talk. It's kind of the same in that way. It's pretty funny. But y'all's stories are hilarious. I absolutely love them, and keep them coming. They're fantastic. And without any further ado, let's get into this one, y'all.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so just recently while the elections were happening, I had a girl ask me if I was voting for Biden or for Trump. I said neither, I'm in Australia, and she said it doesn't matter, every vote counts. I had to explain to her that it's just her country voting, not the whole world.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So when I was like 20, I studied in Kyoto, Japan for like 6 months. And during that time, I got
Cool.
a job in an Irish pub because, of course, I did. And one day, this American man comes in, he's like in his 40s, and whenever he hears my accent, he starts delivering this speech to everyone about how much he thinks he knows about Ireland. So here's me thinking I'm being friendly, and I was like, oh yeah, I can see why you would think this thing, but it's actually more like this. And he's like, well, you wouldn't really know because you're not really Irish. You're black Irish. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, but anyway, yeah, I'm Irish. And he's like, no. I have a great grandmother from Ireland, and that's why I'm really Irish. You don't even look like one. And I was like, nah, I was not about to lose my nice job over this man, so I was just like, give him his gin and tonic. But he was so angry and so livid that I claimed to be Irish that he brought his co-worker in the next day to test if I was Irish or not. Me and the co-worker turned out we were from the same town, and he was like, yeah, she's Irish, and he was so pissed off!
I love
I'm
it.
curious, what is the dumbest
Okay, see, now that's what I'm talking about. They believe a lot of the stereotypes. Like, I used to have a friend that just he was like he thought that leprechauns were real. Yeah, I'll let that sink in for a little bit. Lord, I had to explain to him that that's not an actual thing. Just yeah.
thing an American has ever said to you?
I think I might make a series out of this, but this is the first thing that comes to my mind every time someone asks me a question like this. So, in 2015, I moved to the U.S. and I was a junior in high school at the time, and I was talking to some girls, and they were like asking me questions about Greece. These girls were seniors in high school,
Cool.
and this one girl goes, after I said something about school in Greece and how different it is from school in the U.S., she goes, "Oh my God, it's so weird. I feel like you're like from a whole another country." Because I am. And that was when I realized that education in the US is a scam.
I'm kind of curious. What
It
is the
is.
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
It
So
absolutely
I was in
is.
San Diego last year. I was at a service station, just filling up the car with petrol. And I go up to the cashier and I'm like, "Oh yeah, just the petrol, thanks, mate." And he goes, "Oh shit, is that an accent? Where you from?" "I'm just from Australia." "Oh wow, that's like a really long way away. So, did you fly here or did you drive here?" I flew? Yeah, it's probably a little bit too far to drive, isn't it? I think about this all the bloody time.
Lord.
Like a howdy? What?
What is
That definitely happened in the South. My God. They're I don't understand. Where in the world do they think that y'all have aquatic capable vehicles that would go that aren't military, you know? I don't understand.
what's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I am from Italy, but I have lived and worked in the United States for a while. One day this guy comes up to me and he's like, "How do you become a mafia member?" And I'm like, "A mafia member? What?"
I think this
He
was
was
one
like,
of them
"Yeah,
part
is there
one.
like an interview to do? Is there like someone you go to apply?" And I'm like, "What? Apply in the mafia?" This man, grown ass man, thought being in the mafia was just a regular job, just like being an assistant or a teacher or a doctor. Do you really think we have mafia universities here in Italy? Or do we just show up at the mafia boss being like, "Yo, dude, I want to work for you," and he's like, "Yeah, sure, let's go kill some people." Hello!
I'm kind of curious. What is the
I don't know, is that slightly racist? I don't know.
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I mean, no shade to Americans because I do dumb shit all the time.
None taken.
But I once had a lady comment on a post when I said, "Thank God it's Friday," and she said, "It's Thursday, hun." And I said, "No,
Time difference.
in Australia it's Friday."
Mhm.
And then she accused me of gaslighting her, to which I answered, "I'm going to blow your mind when I tell you that it's actually summer in Australia too, while you're in winter." And then she called me a terrorist.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has
I think some of these are probably going to be from part one, but they're still funny.
ever said to you?
Okay, so true story. When I was a teenager, I was in Arizona visiting my best friend who lived out there, and I was there for the summer. And we met this girl, and she complimented my top, and she was like, "Oh, I really like your top. Where'd you get it?" And I was like, "Singapore." She goes, "Oh, is that a mall?" And I look at her, and I was like, "No, it's in Asia." And I kid you not, she goes, "Is Asia a mall?"
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So first of all, I think I could probably make an entire series on this because I've been in America for a while and I've heard some pretty crazy things. When I went to high school, I went to boarding school in Utah, and on the first day we were in class and the teacher came in and went through roll, and as the teacher was going through roll, they told us that if you come from a country where English is not your first language, I'm going to write your name down and you're not going to get graded as harshly because we don't think it's fair. I'm thinking, wow, that's like really good for them, you know, especially a couple of these students. They're struggling to speak English in the time that I've met them and talking to them. So he gets to me finally on the roll and he says, "Bailey," I said, "Yes, here. I'm from Australia." And he goes, "Ah, Australia." And he turns around and writes my name down. I'm thinking, what's going on? Everyone starts kind of talking around. I'm like, shut up. I went in with a 2.9 GPA my junior year. I graduated with a 4.0.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
"Oh, I love your Chinese accent." I'm French, born and raised.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest American has ever said to you?
Okay, so I tell this story like all the fucking time. But basically, I'm from Spain, which is in Europe, for those that don't know. And my senior year of high school, I was a foreign exchange student in Vegas, in Nevada. And I was in my math class, and this girl that was like white, blue eyes, blonde hair. And she comes to me, she's like, she says something like, is there a lot of people that look like me in Spain? So I said, yeah, most people look like me, but there are some people that look like you because you're just blonde, blue eyes, like you said. And she was like, yeah, because you guys are not white or some shit like that. And I was like, I am white, like, hello? And she was like, yeah, but not really white, but there's some white people because you guys were colonized. And I was like, honey, we are the colonizers.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing
That's just pure blown ignorance
an American has ever said to you?
So I live in Cancun, Mexico, and I've been working with American tourism for around 6 years now. And there was this time when a guy in his 40s came to the resort I was working in. It was his first time in Mexico, and he told me he wanted to book some tours. So I started writing down all the tours he wanted to do. He told me he wanted to visit Chichen Itza, Tulum, and Machu Picchu. So I stopped writing and told him Machu Picchu was not in Mexico, it was in Peru. And he asked me how much would it take to get there in a taxi. I told him it would take around from 5 to 6 hours by plane. And he was so mad, he began complaining that how come if we also had Mayan ruins, no one told him Machu Picchu was not here.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so this is when I was working in a bar in Edinburgh many years ago, and this guy kept on saying, this American dude was in, and he was like, you're not Scottish. You're not, well, he didn't say Scottish yet, Scotch. You're not Scotch, I'm a Scotch American, because my last name I saw on a clan map. And so that's how I know where my clan comes from. I've never seen your name on a clan map. I was born at the fucking Inverness General Hospital, you be dead.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I was raised in Australia and I moved to the US when I was almost 11 years old. And in 8th grade, this girl asked me like, oh, where is Australia? And I was like, oh, like America's here, Australia's here. Like they're two separate continents, two separate countries. And she was like, oh, but like, where is Australia? And I was like, America's here, Australia's here. And she was like, but like, where in America is Australia? And I was like, it's not in America. It's a different country, a different continent. Like America's here, Australia's here. And she was like, but like, what state is it in? Like, is that like a city or a state? And I was like, it's neither, it's a different country. And she was like, but like, America's the whole world. And I was like, no, baby girl, it's not. She really thought that America was the whole world and that Australia was in America. And like, the US education system sucks. So they're all fucking idiots.
It does. It
What's
does.
a piece of information?
Alright, that was the last one of that one. Yeah, so, yeah, our education system is absolutely terrible. I 110% agree on that. I may get some backlash by some people that disagree, and that's fine. I don't care. But that's just my opinion on it. You know, when I was in school, it was getting kind of bad, and now it's gotten even worse, in my opinion, so that's just it. It's my 2 cents. Yeah, so that was fantastic. It's really just some people that, just like in that last one just there, she blatantly was not listening and just did not understand, or she just didn't pay attention in classes, I've said before. I do believe some of those were in part 1, maybe part 2, I don't know why. Sorry that they're kind of repeats. But for those of you that are just seeing this part, be sure to check the other 2 parts out if you want. Like I said, if I've seen, they're still funny. So, I mean, that was really great. Let me know your favorite ones, and again in the comments, share your own stories, you know, and that's fantastic. And leave in the comments, you know, if you want me to suggest something, you'll get a shout out if I like it. I have got a couple that have been brought to me that I'm going to look into, as well as doing the other parts, how many ever there are that add to this playlist for you guys. And yeah, so until the next one, this is Johnny Wheeler, and I'm out.